Hello, my name is William James. Welcome to this episode of The Bored Book Geek. So I want to have a general discussion on Authortube. Authortube is a place of the weird and wonderful. There is some great talent there. There are some great people. There are people that are criminally underrated and people who really don't get the love they deserve. But for everyone within the Authortube sphere, there is a handful of very slimy people who are basically there to sell you a product and sell you courses. Kristen Martin, sorry, I don't know why I call her Kristen Martian, but I'll call her the Martian lady because she doesn't seem human, is a prime example of this. She's also a terrible writer, but that's not here or the point. She is a good example of these weird, shady business practices that involve selling you courses, buying ARCs, paying for good reviews. The people making money for most people as an indie writer, because to be blunt about it, unless you're very lucky, you're not going to make a huge amount of money from your work. And sadly, that's just the truth. You have a whole weird industry that needs more regulation and control, but we can go into that in a little while. What is Authortube first? Authortube is the writer side of YouTube and the book community online. It has some brilliant people. It also has its fair share of toxicity and a lot of other stuff that goes down that just seems rather childish and many other things. It's also a place where people will sell you stuff you don't need. For example, a well-known Authortuber, not the Martian lady, put out a whole course that was about £400, give or take, that was basically a spreadsheet that you could get in a book in Waterstones for £10. You could get the whole book in Waterstones, and she literally copied the course. And this seems to be the same thing, access to Facebook groups. If you join Patreon, I'll give you an ARC, but you're paying the £50 tier, so it's for Patreon, to access all these writing and lifestyle tips, which are meaningless crap. And the problem is, the actualities of selling your book online is, unless you're very lucky, most mainstream publishers won't touch you once you self-publish. You have to be very lucky. Some will, but you have to be willing to pull your original work off the internet. And also, when you self-pub, the money... There's a vanity press, that's a whole different issue. Don't vanity press, by the way. If someone's saying, oh, pay me money and I'll do your book, run. Run. As far as you can, because that's not a good thing. Vanity presses are dangerous, they are a waste of money, and no main bookstores are going to buy your book if you print off thousands of copies. And the amount of people that I know online that have fallen for that, especially before indie publishing, before digital publishing, that's a problem. And when you've got Authortubers who have never written a book telling you that they make all their money and how to make money from these lifestyle videos where they're telling you that as a writer you can make all this money and how to make full-time living out of it, but they've never written a book, they've never actually published anything in any form, and they're usually like 22-year-old students. They aren't there for your best interest, they're there for theirs. They want to make money. They're the people making money. Effectively, it's like a multi-level marketing thing where the downline makes less money. It's the people at the top of the pyramid that make the money. And that's a problem within Authortube. People fall for these really slimy courses, and I know someone who... I wasn't going to talk about this, by the way, but a friend of mine fell for it, and I warned them not to do it, and they really did fall for it. And, I mean, half of these people that are selling you this crap don't know what they're talking about. If someone's saying, oh, you can make I don't work, I make all my money off of writing, I've never actually published a book, but I make all my money off of writing. No, they make the money out of you. They make the money from the people under them. They bring in people. They're the people making money in the pyramid. When you hit the bottom, most of the actual writers, they're not making money. They're not doing anything. It's simple. Sadly, that's the nature of the beast. Authortube needs more regulation, and I do feel like a lot of people are very disingenuous with their motivations, and I'm going to get so much crap for this. But for every horrible authortuber. There are some brilliant ones, like I said. And I mean, a really good example is Savvy. Her writing videos are phenomenal. And they're just put into common English. There's no, oh, I'm going to make money out of this. They're just a general advice that's actually helped me. That's how I found Savvy pre we got talking online, but pre that, that's how I discovered Savvy. And there's countless others, though. I mean, the worst of the worst is Kristen Martin. She doesn't follow her own advice and basically selling you snake oil. And she is a prime... I know I'm picking on her, but this is a common thing. This is not just her. This is a whole raft of people. At the end of the day, if you want good writing tips, there's a wealth of resources online. There are countless free Facebook groups. There are countless free, which can be quite toxic, I will warn you. But there are countless free resources. You can literally go in a well-known bookstores, Waterstones, Barnes & Noble, indie bookstores, whatever, and you can literally buy outliners to build your book. I'm going to write this book. It's great. That's how I work. You can make your own spreadsheets. You can build your own stuff. It's really easy. And I wish people wouldn't take advantage of people that are desperate to get published and desperate to get their books out into the ether. I know I'm ranting, but I'm annoyed because my friend fell for this and I didn't realise the extent of the trouble they've got into financially over it, which I think is just awful. And I'm just shocked, to be honest. And there's nothing they can do. The person that was doing all this stuff is cut and run. And I know there's some legal proceedings, so I'm not going to name this person because I could get in the shit. At the end of the day, there's so many free resources. You don't need to spend £50 a month or $1,000 or whatever it is for a free ARC and a couple of PDFs, which are basically the same information rehashed over and over and over. At the end of the day, as writers, as a creative person, I've discovered through just work that all these resources are available online. You don't need to fall for this crap. You don't need to go into it. Just remember, if someone is telling you to give them money to get your book published, run. If someone tells you, you have to pay us to make your book, or you have to pay us to do this or do that, run. Yes, you will have to pay for editors. If you are indie publishing, you will have to pay for editors, you will have to pay for other people, and if you want a decent cover, if you don't have a graphic design background. But what I want to say is that shouldn't cost you $5,000. That shouldn't cost you a few $1,000s a year. That should be relatively... It's still, editors are pricey, but it shouldn't be shocking. But if someone's saying you, I will pay me money and I'm going to publish your book, then there's a problem. That is a red flag. And if someone's offering you these courses which are basically crap in themselves, run. There is a handful of great people within the book Authortube community online, and it's a shame that these sort of sharks and people are kind of coming after people's dreams and in many cases destroying them. I wasn't going to make this video, as I said, but I felt like I had to because I'm so annoyed by it, and I'm so ashamed that people that are authortubers are selling people lies and fake whatever. At the end of the day, as a writer, I've learnt myself that there are many people willing to take advantage of you, so don't let them. Don't let them take advantage of you. Don't let them go in there. Don't let them destroy your dreams. So, as always, tell me what you think in the comments below. I will be back with my normal content soon, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.